Hello there. This is the Saberforms Judger. That's the name of the model. This is a Neopixel 4.0. Okay, that's the name of the sound card, in case you guys don't know that. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below and check the description box for a link to buy this Saber, super awesome Saber that Saberforms sent me to review for you guys. So right out of the box, make sure that these screws are tight. And make sure that the screws are tight here. These are the buttons, the switches. And then these screws here for these decorative fins on the emitter. You know, this comes from Hong Kong. So it took a week to get here, which I thought wasn't bad. And it was via DHL, which is nice because they want a signature, but they let you know they're coming via, if you give them a phone number, they'll text you and let you know they're in the area. And they give you a delivery window, so that's nice. So some of the decorative details are really nice. This etched pattern, that's not a sticker, this is etched. This is all aluminum, by the way, and it's relatively light. You'd think that something this size would be heavy, but it's relatively light. And also it's a nice gauge, right? So my hand goes around this, and I have relatively small hands, so this works out really well for me. This is gonna be a great for spinning, which I'll have another video where I'll do my Obi Annie for you. But you guys probably want to know, the features of this, because if you're like me, I got an instruction manual that's in Chinese, and I don't read Chinese. So I'm going to take you through the basic functions of this. And this is pretty cool. This is a pretty high-end lightsaber for the price. So go ahead. Like I said, the link is in the description. So there's two buttons. Two-button lightsabers are they can be a little confusing. That's why I'm gonna, that's probably why you're here, figure out what you're doing with it. So if you touch both the buttons and nothing happens, that means it's in like factory mode or it's in shipping mode. So basically you hold one of the buttons in and hold it for like 5 seconds, and that should take it out of the mode. Usually it's the bottom button, sometimes it's the top button. So do that, and then that should activate the saber. So let's see, I might have just put it back into factory mode. So let's see. Nope. So if you press the top button, that'll light up the lightsaber, okay? If you press the top button while it's lit once, it'll turn the lightsaber off. So on and off is the top button. And when I say top, I mean if you're holding it like this. So the one closest to the emitter, I'm going to refer to as top, and the one near the pommel, nearest the pommel, is going to be the bottom button. So again, to ignite, press the top button once. Now you can see that really fancy ignition sequence. You can change that, and I'll show you how to do that. Press the button again while it's lit, it turns off. Okay, the top button. So now in order to change that ignition sequence, there are 9 different ignitions. I'll do a separate video where I go through all 9 because I don't want this to be a super long video, and you guys probably just want to get to playing with this and discover things for yourself. So instead of just pressing the button real quickly and letting go, press and hold for a second, and then you'll hear that noise. Did you hear that noise? I'll do it again. So that cycles through them. It doesn't tell you which one is which. It just cycles through all 9. So then so now if we ignite it, we get a different ignition sequence, right? That one's really elaborate, right? So it's like that alarm bell and then the 2 cycles and then it's stacked. So that's pretty cool. So again, you press and hold and then let go. You hear that noise and then you get a new one, right? All right, so you probably want to know how many sound fonts this has. 27 preloaded sound fonts on here. So how do you change the sound font? Well, the bottom button, you press that and let go quickly. And then you hear a little precursor, like that said Anakin. So if we press this, we get a blue saber and we get an Anakin font that sounds kind of like Revenge of the Sith, right? Anakin's lightsaber. Okay, cool. All right, let me show you a couple of the features that happen while it's lit, because we got a really cool font here now. And so what we want to do is ignite the saber. Now, obviously, it has that background hum. it also has what they call smooth swing. So what that means is, as I move this saber, you see how it changes the sound in accordance to my moving it? Just like in the movies. This is amazing. You could do like fan movies with this easily. This is prop quality, okay? I mean, especially if you could hold this right now. This is all metal, and there really aren't many sharp edges. I mean, obviously this emitter has some sharp edges, but these add-ons, but again, you can even take those off. So while we have this lit, we got the background hum, right? So that's cool. Now we got flash on clash. So if you hit this up against like a piece of furniture or another saber, it flashes and it makes a noise. And every font is a little different. Sometimes it has one or two noises. Now, you know how like, say you're using a lightsaber and you're gonna pretend you're deflecting blasters? Press this button. Nope. Press the lower button, sorry. I get confused sometimes, it's easy to do. Press the bottom button, right? And let go. So now you're deflecting laser blasts, right? Okay. Now, what if you want to lock up the saber? Say you're fighting Darth Vader, right? You're Obi-Wan fighting Darth Vader, and they that wonderful clashing noise when they both lightsabers touch each other. Press and hold the bottom button, smack the lightsaber, and as you smack it, let go of the button. Now this takes a little practice, so forgive me, it doesn't happen the first time. How about that? Happened the first time. So obviously if you have like any issues with epilepsy or strobe lights, probably not gonna want to use this mode. Now you can hold, it'll hold like this forever until the battery runs out, or until you press that bottom button again, and then that takes it out of that mode. Okay, so one more time, hold, smack it, let go of the button, and then to release the lower button, the bottom button, press that again. All right, what else do you want to see? Oh, it has tip drag, which is interesting. So what we're gonna do is, I might go out of frame, I'm gonna do it on the tabletop here. So what I'll stand up, but I'm gonna be holding this button in, the top button, and then I'm gonna stab the table and keep holding the button, right? So I'm gonna go, now see how the tip glows? Now I'm still holding the button. See how I'm still holding the top button? Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that or not. All right, let's try again, because it's, you know. Okay, so I got tip drag, right? So if I'm dragging this across the table, it looks like I'm cutting into the table. I'm still holding the top button. And that'll hold as long as I do that. So you have to have the lightsaber facing down for this to work. So you kind of have to hit the ground, but then I can like act like I'm cutting through a door or something like that, you know? Like in the here, Never to Be Mentioned Again prequels. And I can hold that. It'll stay doing that until I let go of the button. So as soon as I let go of the button, it stops. Okay, so that's tip drag. That's pretty cool. Not every saber has tip drag, so that's pretty neat. All right, I'm going to deactivate the saber. Now, there is another effect, right? So we have our ignition effects, which was you press and hold, and then it changes the way the lightsaber ignites. There are blade effects as well, and I believe there are 10 blade effects. I'll do a video about all 10 in a separate one, because this one's already getting to be pretty long. But you're going to want to know how to do this, because it's a pretty cool effect. And actually, I'm unscrewing these. I should be screwing them back in. So how you do that is you press and hold the lower button, right? The bottom button. But you like, if I press it and let go, it's going to change the font. If I press and hold for a second and then let go, it's going to change the blade style. So I don't know what that meant. Cross. That meant cross. Okay. So let's ignite it and see what happens. So we'll have our ignition, but then we'll have the blade effect after the ignition. So that's the cross effect. And I guess what they mean is these colors are crossing each other in the middle, right? Let's try another one. So press and hold for a second. Finicky. Finicky, okay. So that's finicky. Finicky is like it strobes between the different colors. because it can't decide which color it wants to be. It's finicky, right? You guys getting it? This one is like kind of a cascading, flowing effect. Pretty cool, huh? All right. So those are all the button functions. Oh, there's another one where if you press both buttons, okay? So if you press both buttons, you'll get that little beep, all right? Now you're in volume mode, okay? So if you accidentally do that, you get out of it by pressing both buttons again. But while we're in volume mode, you press the up button for louder. So there's 5. I just pressed it 6 times, but you can hear like the last one is the loudest. So that's the loudest. You press the bottom button, it goes down the lower 5 volume. And the last one is mute. So if your wife's sleeping in the other room or she's just tired of hearing the effects because you're playing with all the sound fonts, it's going to happen, guys, because you're going to play with this when you get it. You can mute it so that you can just play with like the visual effects without the sound affecting other people in the house. So, all right, I'm going to turn the volume back up, and then I'm going to press both buttons again. We're going to hear a noise, and now we're back to that. Right? So let's do that one more time. So press both buttons. Get that? Mute. Now press both buttons to get out of that mode and press, and now there's no sound. Okay. And it'll remember that, which is nice. So you can pick up the Saber at 3 in the morning and start playing with it, presumably not in the same room as everyone else that's sleeping, but you won't wake the whole house when you do it. Speaking of which, this speaker is really good. It's pretty loud, and it doesn't have any distortion that I can tell at the loudest range. So that's the video. Again, the link for this particular model and for the Saberforms website will be in the description. I'll even try to figure out a way to put it into a floating box somewhere or a little tag that you can click on. And yeah, if you smash like, that helps me a lot. This is really fun. I'm so glad that Saberforms sent me this to review, and I'm very pleased with it. This is a premium saber. This may be the best saber that I own, without a lie. If you have any more questions, put them in the comments below, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.